Hey guys, I'm Adria, and welcome to another episode of Careers Are Weird. And oh my god, guys, they are super weird because the last few weeks have been just wow. They have been wow, but that's another story for another episode. For today, I'm actually joined by my friend from uni, Tabata Alves. Ta, how are you, girl?
Hi. Oh, I'm so happy to be here finally, and I'm great. I'm doing good, really good.
You know, guys, it's good that she says finally. Let me tell you, the first time I slid in her DMs with the podcast emoji, the mic emoji, and the eyes, suddenly she was going on a trip. And then the next time, oh, she was moving house. And the next time, oh my God, guys, you know what? Full disclaimer. We were going to record this episode like 3 days ago. I joined the call, mic'd up and everything. And Ta thought this was a social call.
I thought you wanted to catch up first, have a quick chat.
I come on to this episode, headphones on, Mike, Ta, welcome to Korea. She's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, whoa. Oh, man. All right. So, guys, I think with this episode, with all the people I knew in uni, there's a big part of me that only knows the 18-year-old versions of you guys. And I actually refuse to believe that you now have an adult job. So, Ta, what do you do for work? What's your current job title?
I know. Yeah, it's so weird to think that a couple, like 5, 6 years ago, we were in a
Girl,
completely
8 years
different.
ago.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you for throwing that in my face like that. Um, 8, sure, 8. Yeah, so now I'm a customer success consultant. I work for a tech company that operates within market research industry.
Customer success agent. Talk
Consultant.
me through that. Consultant. Okay.
Yes.
So hang on. Tell me, what do you actually do? It's a nice, cool title. What's your day to day like?
Yeah. So basically, our company has developed a software that clients can purchase the subscription. And once they do that, they get assigned a customer success. So we each have like our portfolio of clients, and we just ensure that they are well onboarded, that they're trained, that they have all the everything that they need in order to use our software, and also we help them grow. So we sit down with them, strategize how to make it more efficient, or if there's any other solutions that they could be exploring within our software, and how they can maximize their usage and things like that. So it's post sales kind of role. We don't reach out to customers, like we don't bring them in, but we take care of them throughout their life cycle with us.
Oh, wow. So it's a very customer facing role then.
It is, yeah. I'm constantly with customers, face to face or on Zoom calls all the time. I have like my customers have access to me via Slack if they need to. So I'm 24/7 with my customers basically.
Oh, okay. So is this even like fancy lunch meetings and stuff out and about?
Yes, yes, that's one of the nice things about dealing with customers. You get to take them out for lunches. I actually have one this week coming up that we're quite excited about. So we take them out, and then we go to their offices. We have like this whole presentation for them on how they can maximize their gains and things like that. So it's pretty exciting.
Ooh, do you get to make all these presentations as well? Or does someone else make them and you just do the fun stuff, taking them out to
No,
lunch?
well, it's a team effort, I would say. Like customer success is never by itself with the customer. Like we do usually bring someone from product, someone from quality, someone from I don't know, that we have different internal teams. We do have account managers as well that work with us, with the client. Like they deal more like contractual stuff. But yeah, it's usually like a team of people per customer. So it's like a full rounded team that works with every client.
Amazing. It almost sounds like kind of how I feel about with being a project manager is that you kind of end up being that person in between everybody, managing the external stakeholders, but also the internal stakeholders and making sure the client kind of gets what the client thought they were going to get. So
Exactly. Yeah,
wow.
that is exactly it. Like we're literally bringing what the customer wants and needs and what the company has and it's capable of doing. We're like the bridge between those two. And we're the product experts as well. So like we help them figure it out how to use the product the best.
Ooh, tell us up. So actually, that's what you forgot to mention, that you're a product expert. You're just like, oh, customer
Yeah.
success consultant, also product expert. So then
Exactly. Yeah.
how do you become a customer success consultant? Like, what were you doing before that? What led you to it?
Yeah, so funny story. This is actually my first job from uni. We graduated on Thursday, and on Monday I started this job, and I haven't left since. So it's been 6 years.
No
Um,
way.
yeah, this
That's
is my first job.
insane. Whoa. So then I want to know, what was your first day like as a customer success consultant? What did they make you do on your first day? And then I want to talk about what you would do like tomorrow if you went to
Yeah,
this, because it's the same job, but I'm going to say vastly different. So
yeah,
talk
yeah.
me through day
No.
one.
Yeah, no, I started as an analyst and then I grew into a consultant. But yeah, so because it's a very niche industry in market research, like it's tech, but in market research, first day was very much like, what is market research? What is the industry? What do we do? And then they dive deeper into what the company does, what the software does. And then we had all the training about the software. But again, software is something that is always developing. So the same software that I used when I started has massively changed from what I use today. So it's like a constant learning. But yeah, that's how I started. And then it kind of grew into the role. And I started in Australia. So the team there was about 5 to 6 people. So I was actually hired as a project manager, but then I was doing project and customer success at the same time. And then I had more interest in customer success. So I slowly migrated to full customer success. And then when I moved to London, oh yeah, now I'm in London, by the way. I forgot to
There we
mention that. I think that was your
Careers
first
are weird.
question.
I was like, girl, how are you? Where are you?
And now, yeah, now I'm based in London, but yeah, careers are weird.
Yeah, they are weird, and that's not an opportunity many people get. So you started your career in a smaller team of 7 people in Australia, and now you've moved to London, where how big is the team?
So the customer success team in London is about 6 people, but the office in London has about 100 to 200 people. Whereas the team in Australia was me as a customer success, and then the office was about 7 people. So quite different scenarios.
That's like, how do you even navigate that change? Like, what was it like, I guess, leaving your small team in Australia and then day one at your London office? How did you feel?
Yeah, it's very scary. I'm not gonna lie, because it's also like a much more settled office, so everyone already knows each other. They already have their contacts, ways of working. Whereas in Australia, we were kind of building that together, the 7 of us. So I just tried to navigate in a way that talk to as many people as possible, try to understand how the office dynamic works because it's very different. Working culture is very different as well from Australia to London. So more like in the beginning, trying to step back and be observant until I felt comfortable enough to start taking a more external approach and being involved in more things.
Wow, great tips there. Moving into a new office and taking a step back just to observe a bit is very, wow. I hate to say it, but very demure, very mindful.
I know. Yeah, we learned a few things on the way.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a really cool opportunity that you get because, yeah, most of us don't get the chance to move to a new company through to a new country through our company.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's an interesting transition. And you know what? I'm glad you said yes to it because you've been happy in London now, right? Was it 3 years in
Yeah.
London?
Yeah, 3 years in London. And yeah, I have to say that I mean, obviously, I appreciate that everyone in the company was like, we like how you work, we like your ethics and stuff like that. But I do admit that it wasn't just because of how well I did my job that they decided to offer me this job. It was also because of the connections I made and the relationships that I was able to build within the company, like reaching out to directors and talking to people, getting involved with product, getting involved with other departments, that I kind of created some sort of name for myself within the company. So they were like, we want you to stay. We want to offer you this position in London and things like that. So it was a very interesting proposition, and I'm glad I took it. It came at the right time. And obviously at the time, like you know me, I love Australia. Definitely was hard to leave Australia, but it came at the right time. It was exactly what I needed. Love being in London. Don't think is the final destination yet, but for the time being, I think this is where I was supposed to be.
Everything that you just said. It came at the right time. So you were supposed to move the country. It might not be the final destination, but it's serving you now, which is amazing.
Exactly.
But Ta, it's making me think though, because it was your first job out of uni. You said you graduated on Thursday and started on Monday, which is mind blowing to me. Like, where were the months of fun employment in between? But how did you pick your first job? What were you applying for? Did you just slip and trip? Was it an accident? Like, how did you even find this first role at this company?
Yeah, well, I think you found me. I don't even remember applying for it, to be honest. I was, well, fresh out of, like, we knew graduation was coming up, so it was like, I just need a job. Like, I need to stay in Australia. I need to be able to finance myself. So it was very much apply to as many jobs as you could at that point. And then I got the interview for this one, and obviously, I had a preference for the tech environment because it's something that I find it interesting. I went to uni for a business degree, so it kind of fell right to go along the way of tech. But yeah, I don't even know how I've came across this job. I didn't know anything about this. Didn't know anything about micro research. And
Which is
it kind
mind
of just
blowing
fell.
to me because there's no way you got through first and second year and or capstone projects without knowing what market research is.
Well, it's a very different thing to do research in uni and then to work in market research industry. I would say that uni probably covered like 1% of what I needed to know for those jobs. So, yeah, it found me.
I'm so, guys, if you're watching this and you can just see my hand motions and everything right now, I am stressed because I know the level of market research we did in first and second year uni. And you know what? It was a decent level of market research. And for Ta to be like, yeah, no, it didn't, I'm like, girl, what did you do those years? Oh my God.
I know,
That's
and yeah.
That's so fortunate though that you found a job just by, I guess, blast applying to things you didn't know about, market research, for example, and you ended up find. Was this like your first interview, first offer? Or was this like interview number 20? Like, how far down the job search hunt were you when you found this?
I was somewhat like I had gone through a couple already. Maybe not 20, but like it was probably like 10th interview. And it was like two rounds of interview straight up. Like on the second interview, I met the SVP of APAC. And right away they offered me the job. So it wasn't even a complicated interview. I guess it was so easy. Like the interview process was so natural as well. Like we had great conversations with the team. I met everyone and we just talked about life in general, and it just, yeah, and it was natural. So that's why I'm like, it was meant to be, because it wasn't stressful or
Definitely.
anything. Yeah.
Wow, I have some listeners who are gonna hate you right now, Ta. Let me get this straight. You
Yeah.
graduate uni, you send out a bunch of applications, you do about 10 interviews, interview 10-ish, you find the job that you've been in for the last 6 years because it
Yeah.
found you and it was meant to, and you're just loving what you're doing and you've
Yeah.
grown in the role. Ta, do you know how that is so
Okay.
rare that it's like it's the opposite of careers are weird. You're so
Oh, no, I'm making it sound too good, but it was hard. It was like I was going through like a really stressful process to graduate. There was a lot going on. I had no financial help at that point, so I put a lot of effort into like the interviews that I was doing, into finding the jobs, because I had no other way to finance myself in Australia. Like if I wanted to stay in Australia after graduation, I had to get a job. So it was meant to be, but also it was really like I put a lot of effort into creating that space for myself. I researched a lot about the company, and um, yeah, it was not as easy, and it hasn't been easy. Like there's multiple times that I'm like, I'm done with this. I want to get another job. I want to move. I don't like market research anymore. But then I always find myself like, my time here is not done yet. So yeah, it hasn't
yeah.
been easy.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bad day, but not a bad career. And I feel that because
Exactly.
there are days where like there's actually steam coming out of my ears, and I've literally just had to go mute at the office because I'm so mad. I'm just like, it's a bad day, not a
Yeah.
bad career.
Exactly, exactly. And it's a learning process. Like, even if it's not perfect, whatever experience I'm acquiring now, going through the tough times, is just preparing me for whatever comes next.
Yeah. So I'm curious then, because if you've been in this role for 6 years now, what sort of, I guess, upskilling or career development or extra courses have you maybe done on the side to grow in this role? Is that something that
Yeah.
you've taken on?
Yeah. So I do think that because I work with clients a lot, I've definitely taken a few, you know, soft skill courses, like how to deal with complaints and how to communicate efficiently and things like that. Those definitely help when you're dealing with people, because sometimes you get nasty clients that come at you for things that is not your fault. But also, like, to be able to communicate with them properly just avoids so much back and forth. And when you're teaching them some piece of technology as well, it's good to be clear and talk things in a way that anyone could understand, not someone with technology background. So it definitely helps. And I think for career prospect in the future, I definitely see myself more as a team lead, where I can kind of help people grow in this space as well. Again, I don't know if it's going to be within market research, or because every sort of tech company requires some sort of customer success team. So it could be somewhere else. But yeah, I definitely think that progressing from here, I would, I think of taking more like leadership courses.
Love that for you. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we there's this random meme that keeps going around where it's like, especially when you're just looking for a job, where it's need a job to get experience, need experience to get a job. But then,
Exactly.
and so many times we forget how much of the experience we've actually gotten on the job. So that soft skills stuff that you said, and talking, every client you talk to, you learn something new because every client's
Mm-hmm.
different. just the size of the company that you're working with, that changes things. How much you've learned from the change from Australia to the size of the London office. And so I think there's so much pressure out there for people to be like, oh, I'm going to go do my MBA, or I'm going to go do this. And there's no chance. Like, for me, like, personally, I'm not going to go do that.
Yeah.
But how much I've grown in my career just from the soft stuff, from working with different clients, there's just, honestly, there's no classroom that could ever teach you that stuff. So I think you're doing it the best way possible.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I've considered doing a master's, and I mean, it's still an option, to be honest. I know.
Ta, you want to do more education. Guys, I say this, I knew Ta when she was 18, so hang on a second. You want to do more education?
I know. Very, very different kind of mentality.
Not even I want to do more education.
I know, and you did way better than I did the first time, so.
God, I could not.
Know.
Oh my God.
Well, again, it's a idea. I don't know if... Yeah, it might come to fruition in a couple of years, but let's see.
If you were to study for your career, what would you want to study further?
I think something within customer experience. Yeah, there's I don't know, an MBA per se. I don't think the MBA would go as deep as I want in customer experience, but there's definitely some like courses out there that are interesting, that revolve around customers, and so something like that.
Very interesting. I feel like if I were to study something further, it would be like something completely left. Like, I'd want to go into like marine biology or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. True.
So, well, I mean, I guess I work with fish and under the water and the sea stuff now, but I think it would have to, if I ever studied again, it'd have to be so tailored. I don't know. I think it'd be so much more fun to do something like that now.
Yeah. No, I could totally see yourself doing that. Yeah.
No, my toxic trait is I think, I'm going to study marine biology, and that means I'm going to be scuba diving every Tuesday. Like, that's my problem.
In a beach in the Caribbean, just scuba diving, and yeah, that would be lovely.
Exactly. So, I typically end the episode by saying, life's not stagnant, roles aren't forever, what's your next new step? But you know what? You actually sound quite happy in your role. You're doing your thing, you're talking to your customers, you're building those project management skills, you're going to lunch meetings, you're having a good time. So
yeah.
I don't even know how to end your episode. Just more like, I think you kind of hinted at the fact that, you started in Australia, now you're in London. You don't know if London would be your ideal final destination.
Yeah.
What country would you like to maybe be a final destination?
That's such a tough question. Well, I think final destination, I would love to be back in Australia eventually at some point. But there's a long way to that, so I don't know. Maybe sometime in Spain would be nice, or Portugal. I mean, I don't know. There's so many options. Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm going back to Brazil. For sure, I'm going to Brazil.
No, I don't think that's an option, no.
No, that's crazy. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I'm here planning like next summer all in Brazil all the time. But no, that's fair. And I feel like I cut you off before when I was like saying, what do you want to do next? And roles aren't forever. So, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, I think I would say that it's not about being happy. I think I've acknowledged the fact that for now this works for me and this is where it should be. But happy forever, I don't think that's going to be the case. So there's definitely a next. It's just that for now, this works.
Sage advice. And you know why? And I'll just put a little ribbon on that is because I'm in a unique position where people come to me and they talk to me about their jobs. I'll get 15-minute voice notes talking about this, and this that's happening in people's job. Like, I know the main characters in so many people's offices. And the common theme, and I've got friends that are both happy at work, unhappy at work, and unemployed at the moment. And the way I see the job market and the news that's going around and just the competition, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn all the time and I'm kind of
Yeah.
seeing what's out there. The market's crap right now.
It is.
And
it's tough.
and honestly, if you've got a role, hang on to it. Let it serve you for now, because the uncertainty of what's out there is just, it's too real, man. I unfortunately know so many people who've been out of it for a while. So I think, if you pick the things that within a day, you might be like, oh, I've had a bad day. Actually, you've had probably one annoying meeting and the rest of it has been fine. If you just look for the things that you enjoy doing at work and do a lot more of that and do a little bit less of the stuff you don't like doing and hang on to it, especially now, 2025 climate, I think you're solid for just, staying put and letting it serve you. So agreed with you about being happy is not maybe 100% what we're going to get, especially at our age and the climate right now.
So many things to figure out still. And I think, as long as you keep upskilling yourself and working on your skills, you can always go from there. Like, don't make the job your entire life as well. Like, you need to focus on what you can offer as well. And then present that to other companies, see if they like it better.
Yeah. And the other thing that you said was networking, because networking is what helped you with the move from Australia to the UK.
Yeah.
As well as networking now with all the clients, because guess what? Every client you meet is just expanding your network even more. So
exactly.
You're doing all the right things, Ty. Your career, it's a little bit more linear than everyone else's so far. Because, I mean, I'm on the show sometimes, and remember Floor was just like, I was in the basement. There was 5 of us, and you're just like... No, it's a little bit more stable. Funny, of all the people, you've got the stable career. No, hold on. What?
Why? That sounds wrong. Excuse me.
Oh my God. Look at you, the stable linear career, growing in one Ta, who are you? This is amazing. You're a career girly now.
I know, I boss girl too hard. I don't know what to do anymore.
You boss girls so hard, now you're important to the team.
I'm too important.
You can't go anywhere.
No.
Oh my God. Ta, thank you so much for coming on Careers Are Weird and talking about your job and what you do as a customer success consultant.
Yes, of course. I'm really glad to do this, and it's always great to catch up with you. But it's so funny to see how we went from uni life to where we are today. But
I know, adult jobs.
I know.
It's bizarre that we are the adults. Like, can you imagine?
Who gave the permission for me to have access to this money and tell these people what to do? And
No, that's amazing. Careers Are Weird, fam. I'm gonna link up everything for Ta on her LinkedIn, so you can actually reach out to her if you're interested in. Well, for one, the tech that she's working with. Like, hey, she is a product expert. But also, if you want to know more about the type of role, maybe you see a customer success consultant role out there, not so sure about it, and you kind of just want to hear a bit more about what the role is. Message her. I'm going to link up her LinkedIn because I think we should all be growing our LinkedIn networks. And Careers Are Weird, fam, if I can ask you guys before you turn off the episode to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, share, double tap, all the engagement things that you're supposed to do because you guys know how to do it. And until next Wednesday, stay weird and stay ambitious, my friends.